All right. Hi. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Zenful Conversations. My name is ZenJen Brown, and this community is really exploring the poets in conversation, and that's what we're doing today. We welcome poets, we welcome writers, we will welcome anybody, even on the healing journey, that would like to learn more. This is our second one of these, and we will continue with them again. I just figured we would say hi and maybe what brought us here today, if you are interested in sharing and don't ever feel like you have to share. We can just listen in always. Um, well, let's go ahead with I know Cheryl, you're doing top, right?
Yep, sure. Yeah, I'm called Fire Tablet, and I can't figure out how to put my name on it, no matter what I do. Anyway, I even asked my tech son, and he wasn't able to do it. So anyway, I'm from Canada, and I'm here because I love poetry. I actually wrote. I did creative writing and all that stuff. Went like 100 years ago when I was in high school, and I'm just revisiting it now. And like Jen, I think I find it healing. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's why I'm here. I'm learning. I'm relearning, and the process seems to be a little bit different from when I did it in high school. So it does that. I mean, in high school, it was like all about doing it properly, like you were taught the different
Mhm.
techniques and everything. And now it's more free flowing, which I'm finding more therapeutic.
Mhm.
Is Jen there?
Nope,
Kind
she left.
She kind of froze for a minute.
She did.
So I
She'll
don't
come
know what
back.
happened. Hopefully she'll be able to get back. I saw she was frozen when I was talking.
Oh, did you? Well,
Yeah, all of a
we're
sudden.
we're all here.
I thought I was
Yeah,
the only one that had that effect on people.
No, 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 no. Graham.
you'll have to write a poem about it.
Yeah, right.
Yes, she said something earlier, and I said that's a poem.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know.
the part of my thing is I want to leave some wisdom for my grandkids. And I thought this might be a way to do it where they'll actually listen to it, reading it
Hmm.
and figuring it out
Right.
themselves rather than you saying, you should do this, you should do that.
That's
Right.
right. Oh, there she is.
There
Where'd you
she is.
go?
That's a
We
really
lost
good point,
you. You're muted, Jen.
You're
Fire.
muted, Jen.
Wow. Yeah, it knocked me off. Well, we're having some wicked storms here in Florida, and it's just
I,
actually second time this week it's knocked, actually it was Friday, right? Were you there, Cheryl? Friday,
yes,
Friday knocked me
yes.
right off. It's that never
We
happens. But anyway.
we
Yes, it
carried
made
on.
me. I went and looked at the map of the world to see why did she go off, and I saw the storm there.
Did you?
I think
Yeah,
it's awesome though that if you guys stay on, usually it all
we did.
reconvenes, which is
We chatted.
I I
cool.
thought I caused it, of course.
Yeah,
So
I told him.
Oh,
I told him he should write a poem about it because he feels he caused it.
Yeah. So well, it I was expecting Ginny to be here, who was here last time, and I was gonna ask her because remember she had some follow-up stuff that she wanted to share. But who wants to kick it off today? What do you have that you wanted to share? What made you join? What made you come today, or what why did you think to come today? And who wants to jump in?
well, what I've what I've kind of discovered, I would say in the last 6 months, 8 months, I'm in a lot of Zoom groups and a couple of Zen Sangha groups, a poetry writing group, a philosophy, a list of Zen groups, of Zoom groups. So anyway, the point is this, and I'll give you an example of what I'm trying to say
mm,
with that. In the course of a discussion, it has a little bit to do with what Fire was saying. That the ordinary participation in a group discussion is to talk, you know, and to offer your thoughts verbally in conversation. So what I discovered I could do was hold off I'm listening, I'm processing, and I'm writing a poem at the same time. So toward the end of the group, I can read the poem back to them.
Wow. Wow.
So that is a little bit odd, I'm sure, but I can give you an example.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a fun and beautiful practice, actually.
It's
Yeah.
just great. I mean, it's just I get much more like if I say something in a group, people say, "Did somebody say something? Did somebody actually?" They don't hear me. So
Yeah.
so the point is with the poems, people go, "Oh wow," like that. So it's a communication device that really allows me to get my point across and be heard. So here's an example. Um, uh, I live near a place called Wave Hill. It's a garden, and it's on the Hudson River, and there's an art show there right now called Trees. Trees. Period. We breathe. Unquote. So I was gonna maybe hold out the book, but no, I gotta find the book to show you. But anyway, one of the tree exhibits is by Yoko Ono, John
Oh,
Lennon's wife. Um, so his widow. Her display is called Wish Tree, quote, wish tree, unquote. And so she describes that she thinks of all her work as different forms of wishing. And so this work that's down at the garden refers to her childhood memories, Yoko's childhood memories of her family, of going with her family to the local Shinto temple in Japan. And the tradition was there to write wishes on tags and hang them on a tree. So in this exhibit down at Wave Hill, there's this beautiful little red oak tree with low hanging branches so people can reach it. And it now has it's been there for like 2 months, and there's thousands of wishes which have been hung from the branches. They have a little station where you get the paper and the little, golfing pencil and everything. So we had a discussion about this trees in my Zen group and the power of trees and so on. So I told them what I told you about this exhibit, and then while they had been talking, I was writing and thinking, and so this is the poem that I wrote, right? And not that it's that great. I mean, I'm not saying, wow, that's great, but it's just a different way of communicating and participating. It's called This Tree. This tree breathes our wishes, our hopes, and our dreams. In the late afternoons, how peaceful it seems. Between the soft clouds, a sleepy sun gleams, showering the earth with benevolent beams. We all write our wishes to hang on this tree, believing, no doubt, that the fates will agree. Our hopes, like a laser, will never be dimmed. They find their way home as they ride on the wind.
Mm.
So that's just an example of how that I've sort of discovered to use poetry and, as a way of participating, in vivo in a conversation that's going on.
I love it. I love it. It's a very interesting spin to put on your practice. I'm wondering, I'm thinking to myself, I might feel a little bit of pressure, time pressure, not but that's and what I really like is that it probably allows you to even be even that much more present as you're listening to the whole conversation.
Right. I think people and what you do end up saying with the poetry is something that people you can actually copy and paste it into the chat, and people can take it with them and if they choose to, and read it over if they choose to. And
It's brilliant, I think. Have you ever done anything like that, Patty Joy? As a
No,
practice?
I'm amazed. I'm just saying, often while people are talking, I will write and I'll write a short verse or because when my thoughts come, I want them on a piece of paper and I'm still present with the group. But this is what he did, what he talked about just really hit me here
Yeah, it's
because
powerful.
it was powerful. And it's interesting, Graham, that I just finished a book. I told Jen about it the other day called The Untethered Life. And in that book, they talk about a Zen thing of tree. And here you brought up this whole story of the tree. And I've written down what you said because somehow they kind of come together. It was just exciting. So I started a poem here. Yes.
great, I'm glad.
The
Yeah.
Untethered
Yeah.
Soul. The Untethered Soul. Is that what Michael Singer? Is that what you're?
Yeah. It's
I'll let her write that down.
this is let me see.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not familiar with that, that's it's good. But but that shows your depth to me. Because to me, I think we give ourselves how do I even, some of this stuff you don't even know how to word it. About the what kind of practice you have, you're feeding yourself a more of a deeper practice, so because that's just so powerful. And I think that says a lot about you. So I'm really appreciate you being here for sure. That's interesting. What do you got to say
Happy to
about
be here.
that, Cheryl? About that process or anything like that?
Yeah,
Anything?
I found it fascinating. I used to be, well, I did music and um, I mostly did classical. I studied at the conservatory. So I became really, really quick at there's actually a word for it. It's called filking. And it's you take a tune and you change all the words. And I used to do it as a way of being funny. I could do it like Graham, like at a split second, take a tune, and off I go. And it was just, I guess I made people laugh. So I did it. And that's what that just reminded me of, my filking, where any situation I would be like walking with my ex-husband, he'd say, filk a song, and then he'd give me a tune and say filk it while we were walking, and I just make it up as I went. I could never repeat any of the ones I did, and that's
I'm
kind
not
of
filthy good at that.
Oh, sounds like sounds like a Japanese name, Fulkasan.
Yeah, I have no idea. He just said filk it, and then he'd give me a tune, like a rock tune or something, and I would just, from my environment and walking, do it. So your tree example reminded me of that. It's fun, and it's also a way of making you present, keeping you present, I think.
Right. People would worry, but they would say, well, how can you write and listen at the same time? And evidently it is possible.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely, I would say, makes you even more in tune with it. Um, yeah, well, that's interesting that you said that, Cheryl. Like you make it up as you go. I'm like, am not that quick of a thinker here. I'm like, tomorrow I'll think of, oh, I should have said that or something like that. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of why I feel that I would feel too much pressure from trying to,
I never thought of that being
my
what that was.
brain. My
Well,
mind would
I,
get in the
I
way.
cannot lie. My brain is not as quick as it was when I used to do the filking in my 20s and 30s. So I don't know if I'd be quite as witty now, but
Oh, yeah, you know more words now, though, honey.
Yeah.
We're good.
How do you spell that? S-I-L?
oh, filk, it's with an F. Filk. Filk.
Filking.
I don't know. I've never actually looked it up.
That's okay. I
was in a group and they called it filking, and that's what we did. So musical group. So yeah, I don't know. I did
Well,
it.
that's quite creative too. That's really creative. Those are both that's really creative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of I love that this came into the conversation today because I never even considered anything like that. And I think that's well, I mean, in a way, when Rosemary or somebody has Rosemary Watala we're talking about whenever she has classes, sometimes she says, let's write a poem, and everybody puts in a line, and by the end, she's reading it
Yes.
off, and it's one big, beautiful poem. So I guess in a way, it's something like that. But to do it all yourself, here's Wanda. To do it all yourself is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, that's great to
I
share.
just looked up filking, and I'll read what I got.
Okay.
Filk, Filk, is a musical culture and genre associated with science fiction and fantasy fandom originating in the early 1950s. It often involves song parodies and original music about various topics, including science fiction, fantasy, and technology, typically performed in social settings like conventions. That, that's just a paragraph that came up under Filk.
Well,
I said,
well,
what
that's
is it to Filk a song?
that's very interesting because where I did learn it was I did medieval reenacting. Now a lot of people who do like fantasy stuff do it, but
The
it's
Renaissance
actually
fairs?
yeah, pardon?
The Renaissance fairs? Is that the
Well, this isn't. It's a
different? Okay.
it's called Society for Creative Anachronism,
Huh.
and Anna is Greek for not of this time. And but what we did most of the time is try to be 100% accurate for the time period that you chose.
Oh,
But
wow.
there were a lot of fantasy people there, so and that's where I learned filking. And we used to do it around the fire at night. It's like in medieval times, that was their entertainment. You sat around the fire and you told a story. And that's where it came from. And I did the musical end of it. I performed for everyone doing medieval music and doing filking. So, yeah, I guess
Love it.
that's interesting. I never looked it up. Honestly, I never looked
Oh,
it up. I just did it.
so funny. Welcome, Wanda. You could take the microphone off. How are you today? Glad you could join us.
You're muted.
Yeah, she's working on it there.
Oh.
Mute.
There we go.
Thank you. Yes.
I have been thinking about you because you're in Arizona with all of that dust stuff that's going
We
on. Is
missed.
that
I'm in northwestern Arizona, so we get cooler temps. Although, yeah, not much cooler. And we did not get that dust storm. That was way
Oh.
south. That was like 3.5, 4 hours away from me. So, but
okay?
that was
Good.
huge. There was a dust storm earlier the week before, but it was minor. But yeah, no, I've been in a dust storm. You don't ever want to be in one.
No, that didn't look
So
like it was any fun.
it's horrific. It's pretty horrific. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, glad you're here.
hopefully I will be on for the rest of the time. I've got grandkids here under the age of 4, so yeah, it's my day to watch them.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That's right. You did say that. I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I'm
well, the
guessing
Yeah.
little
maybe
one's
Wednesday.
down for a nap. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Graham, to our circle. I don't think you've met.
I
If
want
you
to,
have, that's cool too.
yeah, the closest thing I've ever come to a dust storm is when I helped my cousin clean out his attic. It was really
Wow.
memorable,
That's
Well,
wild. That's
it
wild.
sure is. It's
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, you sure are bringing some great stuff to the conversation, Graham. Again, I appreciate you stopping by
Mm-hmm.
and being here with us.
Pleasure.
Because yeah, definitely want to feel welcome. I used to be women only,
Mm-hmm.
up until probably about a year ago. I still I mean, in my healing journey, I ended up becoming a women's empowerment woman, because that's how I had to get myself there, Um, but so then, and then when I took it online, it was just the same women, but only probably the past year, maybe, year has it been, when I realized that writers and men, um, particularly, are more sensitive in this type of community, and I think women can still feel safe, because really my whole big thing is creating a safe space, and that's what this is. Well, not necessarily this one, although it is, because this one's recorded. But when we do the workshops and stuff like that, it's a safe space to know that what you say can be,
Yeah.
held with love and trust and all of that. So I appreciate having enjoying the male perspective. Do you ladies feel the same? Isn't it interesting?
Totally.
I just,
It's
I
an
just,
eye opener.
oh, I feel like it's just my perspective, I don't, I don't have it, and I understand the reasons, justifiable, you know, perhaps ways that it's that women can mistrust men. Men have been mistreating women for thousands of years, and so I understand where all that um, you know idea of get away from me is coming from. But I just don't. I I think of it. I think of this more as a this is me, that's you, and that's
Human to human.
like yeah. I don't see like a girl. Oh my God. Now what's this going to be
Yeah.
now? This kind of thing. Nothing like that. Just what are they saying? What's going on?
Good, good, good. Thanks again. Wanda, you got anything you want to share with everybody, or you just stopped by to see what the heck it's all about, or what?
Right, I did. I have not been writing. I've got one from a in my head that's floating around from Ellen Rowland about the stolen fig, but mine was a farmer's market peach. But it's bringing up all kinds of memories from childhood. And
Mhm.
so I will, and I'm still in the process of kind of shifting my poetry a little bit and minimizing things a little more Jane Hirschfield style. And so I'm working on that, but I've got two, oh my God, they're so tiny, paintings that I'm working on for our local art community.
Oh.
Um, fundraiser, and they're 6 by 6, and I work more in like 6 feet by 6 feet. So this is a challenge for me. And I hate the one that I started on, so I'm gonna white it out when I get home and redo that one. I've got one that's I played with and it looks so much better. But when I started with poetry, there were very few women. I mean, there was Emily Dickinson, yes, and there was HD and Elizabeth Bishop and a couple of others. But, I grew up in South Louisiana. We were not privy to much of any of that. I didn't even know who Allen Ginsberg was till I moved to New York City and started taking workshops with him. So, yeah. And it and that changed my poetry totally. I mean, yeah. So I was writing this pedantic academic stuff, and I've since burned all of it. I know, don't get me going. I'm one of those people. I burned it all. I think I've got 2 poems left from my younger days, and that's about it. And that's a whole nother topic, isn't it?
Mhm.
So
It is.
Well, we're
I'm,
going to be having a one-on-one conversation if you think about,
yes.
if you want to share that.
Yeah, I would love to. And I'm not a poet that feels the need to write every day. I don't always wait for the muse to come to me. I will choose to sit down and write. However, I don't feel the need. I don't keep a journal. I don't do any of that. I am too ADHD to be able to do that. And unfortunately, I've been away from my meditation for a month or two, and I'm like, "Blah."
Oh, sure.
And my poetry things, I've taught poetry and writing workshops, but they're more play shops, and I use everybody's tools. Natalie Goldberg, I mean, I use everybody's
Oh, she's
tools.
great.
And I taught I had a writing class where a janitor showed up, a couple of teachers,
Oh, wow.
and a woman that I worked with who was a PhD, MD. She worked in a clinic with severely mentally disabled children. And she was about to lose her tenure because she hadn't written anything in 3 years.
Mm.
And I ran into her about 7 months later. I was living in Charlottesville, Virginia at the time, and I wasn't working there anymore. And she's like, "Oh my God, I have to thank you. I've written 8 papers." And I'm going, "It's because I threw cat toys at them, those little pom-pom balls." If people think they get things thrown at them. So, right. Yeah, I've handed people these big block crayons to write with.
Huh.
So,
I
yeah.
think
So,
Joanne last time said she was writing with lipstick. Remember when?
yes,
Yeah, she,
yes.
Yeah.
So I've written on toilet paper. One of my
I did.
best poems was written on a napkin that kept tearing. So at a restaurant. So, but yeah, no, toilet paper, everything. So,
that's funny.
yeah.
Mhm.
Those paper coffee cup holders also work.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that they put them on so you don't burn yourself.
Yeah.
And I got an idea and I have no paper, no paper.
Yeah.
You reach for a pen and
Yeah.
I've scribbled a couple of things on those.
Yeah. I've written on tablecloths. I've stolen pens and pencils from waitresses. Yeah. 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 I leave them with a tip at the end. So, yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Patty Joy, what do you
Um,
got to share today, hon?
Well, I don't even know if I've written anything today or the past few days. I've been sick. No, I am not sick. I'm healing. But so I've been in and out of doctor's offices, and
And you went on a cruise.
I went on a cruise. Oh, that was wonderful. I wrote a beautiful poem on the cruise. And I was sitting, I wrote 2 on the cruise. They just have to come to me. I don't try to make them come. There's just something that hits me. And I was sitting out watching the sunset, and it was just spectacular. I think I have that. You've probably seen it.
I love that. See, you guys are giving your perspective because like I'm newer to finding my voice here. And it's your Wanda is like, I don't have to write every day and it's all this other stuff. And
no,
Patty Joy's like, well, when it comes to me, so it gives a lot of freedom, it really gives a lot of freedom to really
play,
your voice
play,
is
play,
unique.
play.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
unique.
That's right.
Play.
Here it is. I was sitting on this, I wasn't on the deck. I was waiting in the meditation room on the cruise ship to get a massage. That's where I was. And I looked out over the ocean, and here's the view. That's what I saw.
Wow.
And I wrote, deep Caribbean blue joins soft blue on the horizon, reaching beyond the sea, beyond boundaries, to ever-changing whiteness of clouds above, merging into the bluish purple dome of air. And that's what I wrote that day sitting there. And it just comes. It just happens to be there. Some of my other ones are much more telling of who I am, but that one was special for me.
Right.
Yeah. So now in my home, I have to keep the temperature at 69 and keep the windows and doors closed. And that's why I've got sweatshirts on and these baggy sweatpants to stay warm
Yeah.
until that respiratory thing gets better.
I think for me, I found that it's about creating new systems, when something, I just got to create a new system. and and that helps me enjoy things instead of just trying to do things the way I was. I've got to
Mhm.
create new systems for different circumstances. And then it lightens up the whole thing a little bit. So I move probably a little bit slower, but I think slower is better. Mhm.
Well, it helps me it helped. I was just always going, always doing,
Mhm.
always couldn't stop because when I stop, who am I with but me? And so when I moved here about 4 months ago, I was in a whole different environment and I did stop and I learned to just relish the alone. I mean, not being alone, just being here. I don't drive anymore. And
Oh,
at first thought I was like a prisoner, but it's not like that. It's this time
Yeah.
and I can sleep it whenever I want. I can rest. I don't,
Thank you.
No, you have people
Absolutely.
at your beck and call. They're there for you anytime you need it.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
that, and I have started cooking again and that's fun. And they got me a stove so I couldn't set the house on fire. I forget what it's called, but little things like that. And when I do get out, I get very tired. So I've given myself permission to rest. I read that book, Rest is Resistance, and that just changed my whole perspective.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'm a
yeah,
big fan of that rest too. Well, quite honestly, it's about how we want or need to use our energy
hmm
to have,
Right.
even the quality of life that I want to have. And to me, I'd much rather use that energy sitting here and having conversations than doing something physical.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
So this is
uh,
new. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and
but
I
it's really cool, and that goes back to just about the being present stuff.
yes, now,
and and that's
here,
proof,
now, yes, and
Right.
but
that's
that's proof of what you focus on is what you get, kind of,
mhm.
because you're seeing your life as beautiful and you're receiving it as beautiful, to where you could be, wishing and complaining and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Show off.
One of my biggest fears moving from the mountain, while I'm in the
Sorry, I
valley
put you
now,
on
was
mute, Wanda.
I had to give up this beautiful land. And a lot of my poetry came from the forest and the land and being on the bluff. And I
Mm.
came in here when I saw the house. It's a condo, but it's all one level. It's all different generations move here. But I went out my back door, and it was a beautiful garden. It was the only little house on this thing that had this gorgeous garden, of course, with the tree, this huge tree with its arms stretched out, and a little stream that comes whenever it rains.
Yeah.
And I thought, how could anything be any better? And that was and I've written about that too. But it's just something has to just to click with me to make me. I don't,
Mm.
if something
Mm.
happens out there or a little tiny bug was on my hand and I started to write about this little tiny bug. I just see life differently right now.
Mm.
So
I really identify with that.
yeah.
I mean, has anybody, well, let's see if I can get into this. Might be too much to it. Has anybody ever heard of magnetic poetry?
Yeah.
You have?
Mhm.
Okay, so I don't have to, yeah. So
Good.
it's so I just one day I was evidently this garden that I live near is like a real power spot for me
Mm.
creatively. Um, but I went down there and I was drinking a coffee, sitting on the patio. That was this flagstone patio, and 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 there was a mother tables around on the patio. The mother was helping her daughter with her homework. And they were having a great time. They were both laughing. They were doing the homework there, but anyway, they were obviously having a good time with each other and with the homework. And the way is sometimes adults can sort of be they can enjoy the children, but they're a little bit patronizing. This mother was actually, the child would say something and she would just burst out laughing. And this that this beyond enjoying a little child, my grandchild, I love her so much, stuff like that. It was just that this kid is a hoot, and I am so enjoying this. And anyway, so I took out my magnetic poetry thing. I could get it, but that'd take too much time. It's a little plastic thing. You shake it up and it has little magnetic strips with random words, right? With magnetic backing in a little box. So anyway, so I was sitting there at this table, at the metal table, patio table, shook the little box of magnetic words, drew out a few of them, stuck them onto the metal patio table in random order, like you're supposed to. So, and this is where I didn't have paper or pencil to write on, so just that's when I took the cardboard cup holder protector off of my cup, and I did have a pen. So, anyway, and the mom and the daughter, and so I'm writing, and then after a period of time, the mom and daughter walked past me as they left, and I wrote this little poem as I was watching their exit. I thought, as part of my practice, that I would say, "Hey, you want to see what I wrote?" Which I thought would be a little bit too, like, what? It might have been inappropriate, so I didn't do that. In other words, if it happened to you, what would you think? Like, who are you, sir? This old guy,
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't know.
But they were still walking and laughing as they walked by. Anyway, so I wrote this thing and based on the random magnetic poetry. So I said, and this was, my take on that. Away she walked with her child on her arm. The love was wild in their wake. And that was it. So then this is, for me, it's not about creating something new and different. It may be good, it may not, but for me, it can also be about finding a fresh way to participate and sort of frame the present moment in a new, different way that no one ever thought of before. And it makes you feel like, wow, I'm happy that I did that. It makes me feel good, within my own process, but also it makes me feel related to the, what's happening as a human being, the creative spirit.
Very good. Yeah, let me back up. I heard you say, anyway, that it's your power spot.
Yeah. I
Can
mean,
you
there's a
tell?
lot
Can
of,
you can you elaborate on that?
well, there's just a lot of insights happen for me in that spot. And on that patio, well,
Can
I
you
can be
describe what the
walking.
patio looks like, though?
It's just made out of stone. It has stone. Basically, this garden situation is two mansions, formerly of the people who originated New York Life Insurance and somebody else, some other real rich guy around 1900, and eventually the family, when the people died, donated these two mansions to the city of New York, probably for tax. You don't have to pay taxes for the rest of your life or something, and they made a park out of it, and it's all this stonework. Buildings are stone. They have a pergola. With the
Yeah, it sounds okay. Yeah, well,
everything on
I'm
it.
glad you did that. Yeah,
But
because
it's
I was
power spot is
anywhere
just
it could
very.
be different if it was like in Miami Beach or depending where
Oh, yeah.
it is. But that sounds like a very beautiful spot. I'm glad. Could you even describe it a little bit more?
Um, let's see, a stone
Like
wall.
trees, are
stone
there a lot
fe-
of trees
Oh,
or
tons of
plants
trees,
or?
crazy trees, just total. It's also a bird sanctuary.
Yeah.
Oh my
So they
gosh,
have oh man, they come out in the winter, mostly the winter peepers and the chickadees and the piley woodpecker, all the different no types of woodpecker, on and on and on. Beautiful,
beautiful.
beautiful thing. But that it's amazing to me. The place itself is beautiful, no doubt. But it's about what goes on there. It's about how relaxed and sort of
Hmm.
creatively open I feel when I go down there.
Mm.
You know,
Cheryl, do you have a power spot, a power place to go like that?
Um, I don't
I'm
know.
thinking I
No,
need to find one. I need to
yeah,
get myself, I need to claim one.
well,
Yeah,
I like
right.
I
That's
like to
right.
sit
because it's
in
really about
my,
you. You are the power spot.
Yeah.
yeah,
The-
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I like to
that's
sit in
true
my
too.
sunroom. I have a sunroom and I can see my whole garden. And because I live in Canada, as you know,
Ooh.
like 9 months of the year is crappy weather. So you have to have somewhere where you can, because I just can't get out in the winter a lot. But I like the sunroom, and but I think ideas just come to me wherever I am as well. Just something will it be said, and all of a sudden
Hmm.
it's like, yeah, I don't know,
Hmm. Hmm.
like um, I don't know. You have a term for it. I can't think of it right now. When you're, I can't think of the name right now that you use all the time. When
I say
someone,
a lot of things, Cheryl.
yeah, no, but you use it a lot. It's when you're giving someone a line to start a poem, what's that term that
oh,
you use?
prompt.
Prompt.
Prompt. That's
Oh,
the word I'm looking for. A
Very
prompt.
good.
So I guess I just find the world prompts me sometimes.
The world is
Well, I
my
think it
prompt.
yeah.
prompts all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm prompted regularly.
Yeah. Good or bad, right? Yeah.
It's been tough, isn't it? Oh, goodness. Ah, that's wonderful. Wanda, do you have any power places that you go?
Um, well, I'm new to Arizona, so I'm trying to find my power
That's
places.
right. She was from
Alaska,
Alaska.
let me get back
Wow.
into, I can't even find where I was. I've lost the whole conversation, so I got to join again. Oh, there we are.
Mm.
Okay. So, because I was looking at a poem to read, so, and it just everything went away. I had a phone call. Your hot rod bike is ready. My hot rod bike. It's a lightweight mountain bike. She is a hot rod. So, but not
That
for
sounds like a
me
poem right
though,
there. My
not at
hot rod
my
bike.
age. But
Oh,
in
it's like Hot Rod
Alaska,
Lincoln.
yeah, when I lived in Colorado, I often brought notebooks with me. I would go hike the mountains, and it was fairly safe. I mean, there were cougars everywhere up in the mountains, so you had to, be aware, and black bears, but black bears in Colorado generally stayed away. Cougars, no, they challenge you. Um, but Alaska, I used to go hiking by myself,
Mm.
and I went one day, and I got challenged
Mm.
by a brown bear. I never saw it. It followed me 3 miles back to my car.
Ooh.
Somebody else saw it though. And it was raining. You can't run. You can't do anything. You just, so I sang as off key as I could, which is not hard. And but the woods are, and I realize how much I miss the woods. Although a friend came by not long ago, and from Alaska, and we went to the Grand Canyon, and I remembered my life in Durango with all the ponderosa pines and that smell of the juniper trees in the when the sun hits them. Oh my God, it is. I mean, I just stood there on this path and people walking by and I'm bawling my eyes out and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm going, "I'm so happy." So I'm trying to find it here. One of the places that I like, my kids, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm going to step outside and or show you through the window. Can you see the hills behind it?
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful.
Okay. That is one of my favorite places to just
Oh.
get up there and walk, and it's desert. And the thing about the light here is the light changes, and you'll be looking at a bush or a shrub or a plant like 20 feet away, and you get up close and all of a sudden that orange bush is now purple and brown.
Oh,
It is that dramatic. So I've never
wow.
lived in the Mojave Desert. I mean, I lived in the high desert, which had in Colorado, in Durango, Colorado, which had mountains and trees, but and was dry, but not, not the other. But yeah, I didn't write in the mountains. I would write afterwards. And I have a poem about I loved hiking in the winter because people would clear the paths because the skiers wanted to get on them. And I wrote one of my favorite poems about hiking in the mountains in winter. And I mean, you can sit there and if it's sunny, it's just crystals that are falling on you. And if you stand still for 2 seconds, I mean, you can just be buried.
No.
You're smiling as you're getting buried instead of moving on. So, but I'm trying to find my happy place here and I haven't found it yet. So, I've been busy with grandkids and I've traded bald eagles for vultures. And that's a little unsettling for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is
So
that a voluntary move that you did?
I did. I got I'm 73. I was still working doing hardcore medical injury massage, like rolfing. Okay. Is very, very hard and very hard on my body. So much so that, and I only worked 3 days a week. But by the time the weekend came, I was so wiped out I couldn't do anything. I was wiped out. I couldn't write, I couldn't paint, I couldn't do the cooking I used to love. I just, I wasn't hiking, I wasn't doing anything. And I realized I was getting sick more often. And so my kids called and said, well, because mom doesn't have any money. I mean, they have all the money. They bought me a house and a little house in a subdivision. And
Nice.
yeah, it was very nice. My I'm extremely liberal and all my neighbors are ultra conservative and somehow we get along. This is
You're
one of
lucky.
the most
What a
conservative
blessing.
areas. And it's okay if people are conservative, that's fine. I don't care. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's funny that so I haven't quite found my niche here. I've made a friend in her 40s and we do things together, but I haven't met my poetry community yet. Most of the poetry things that happen down in Phoenix and Tucson. So I've tried to join in, but I am not making that drive all the way to Phoenix just to go do poetry for an evening. So, um, but I'm I'm beginning to get happy here. Yeah. So My bike is ready. That was what the phone call was. It turned me off and
Oh.
everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, change is good for you. Change is
so
good.
yeah, well, I'm my family's gypsy. I move everywhere. And the
Oh.
kids needed help with the grandkids. They've got a 1-year-old and about 3 months old, and then another one who is about 3 months from being 4.
Mm.
So yeah, so they needed help. The daycare is and so yeah. So I'm here.
Win-win. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
So
you're here.
yeah. I
We're
do
your
have I do
friends.
have a vulture poem. It's kind of a, if I can get to it,
Of course you do. You're on mute, Wanda.
doing that.
There you go.
So let me see if I can get to this poem. All right.
Okay.
I have an issue that I have a thyroid issue, but we don't know what, I mean, menopause, who knows? So, but every now and then, and it's not stress, it's not anything, but my hair decides to start falling out. So, it's not doing that right now. So, but this is hair and tomatoes.
Oh.
I run my fingers through my hair absently, without any awareness of this raised arm, concern for my hornworm bitten tomatoes, chewed in the dark of my sleep, before I get a taste of juicy ripeness. I run my left hand along the scalp part to part line and wonder if I've watered last night, even though the leaves show gray.
Mm.
It's southern blight, like my life, over accumulating in this heat and this desert that watches my hair fall and race down to the floor like feathers aging for vultures.
Mm.
So I'm going to try to get back on now.
Mm.
Yes, there we are.
Oh,
That
So
was, mm.
that was what, Patty Joy?
It just really touched me. I mean, the way you wrote it, what you did. Oh, it was just,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Uh, you don't need to thank me. You wrote it. I'm a
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you all for listening.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Nice.
So yeah. Yeah.
I
So
think that's what I like about this group, and another group that I'm in is that you see all the different perspectives, and sometimes I think, oh, yeah, yeah, because I'm not near a group either. The only
right.
time I go out is to a woman's circle every full moon,
Yeah.
and
Ooh, I like that.
oh, it's
Yeah.
it's wonderful. It's out in the woods, and it's all Zen oriented too.
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
That's the
But if
best.
I recall correctly, Patty Joy, at first you were apprehensive about doing it.
How'd you remember that?
Well, because I don't drive at night
Yeah.
myself, and I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what I
So,
did is she's also I don't know what else she does, EMDR and all these other things. She's not with me,
Oh,
but
wow.
Oh, yeah.
this is the offering to go. You don't have to pay. And you pay what you want. And the first time I went, there were like 30 women there. It was amazing. And the stories they told, the time we had, it wasn't just for the moon. Uh, we did stuff. Oh, what do you call it? When you work with your hands, somatic. So we had a whole somatic evening. And then people brought food to eat.
Yeah.
And she called someone to pick me up. So every time I go, someone comes to pick me up here and take me up into the
yeah,
mountain. It's
yeah,
yeah.
that's so cool.
Beautiful.
But see, that's the vibration of the people you hang around. That's why these communities are so darned important.
It
Yes.
is.
Because it just, first of all, gives you, at least you can get a breath of fresh air and say, okay, I think I can get through this shit for
That's
another
right.
couple days
That's
until we
right.
gather again.
It's not that far away.
Yeah.
It's
My son asked why I insist on doing all these little workshops
Mhm.
and I want to do the 2 months with Ellen, but I mean, I live on Social Security. I live
Me
on
too.
very little. I don't have the money for it.
Mhm.
So, but and he's like, Ma, you're a professional poet. And I said, yeah, who doesn't send her poems out? So
Yep.
I gotta get on that. And
Linda,
and he said, why are you doing this? You're already, you should be instructing other people. And I'm going, community.
And it's
Mhm.
We need the
nourishment.
community.
It
It's
is.
nourishment, it's
Yeah.
self-growth.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
mean, you can't even put a value on that.
Yeah,
But
no.
No.
I mean,
Oh, he
it is
understood
it is
totally, but
something
yeah,
we're on this a lot, we're on
yeah,
it
Yeah.
a lot. And Graham
yeah,
said same thing too. He's on these
yeah,
communities a lot because if you understand the value, they are cool.
yeah.
But
Definitely.
listen,
Exactly. Well,
Wanda,
and whoever wants to come to, Northwest Arizona is welcome to come to the Mojave Desert. I have a 3-bedroom house. So
woo.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's part of it too.
As far as
It's
doing the
You know,
workshops that you
I've
want
had
to
people
do,
take me up that I really don't know and have
good.
become fast friends with
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
well, again, it's like
Community.
yeah. I mean, we know each other because a lot of things we tell each other and share with each
Yeah.
other anyway. It was not stuff that we would share with everybody else because
No,
they
no,
just
no.
probably they
Mm-mm.
wouldn't get it. And
Mhm.
then there'd be drama wrapped around it and all kinds of stuff to, deal with. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here, it's non-judgment. All right, yeah, well, we all go
Yeah.
through stuff. Listen to mine.
This is mine
Yeah.
right here. You can't have.
Yeah. Oh
If
yeah, I
there's
had an
something you
experience
want,
just like that the other day.
Yeah,
Like that.
exactly.
if there's something you want to do, I was told by a therapist, you must start asking for what you want. And I have done that on many workshops that I wanted to do. And there was no way, I live on Social Security, that I could afford it. So I have written and asked them, can I get a scholarship? Can I get a discount? And they're always open to doing that.
Yeah, I would think so too. I
Wow.
can't speak for anybody else, but what I
Wow.
have found is it's a very compassionate space, and
Mhm.
some of these poets and stuff that we've been able to have
Oh,
conversation
gosh,
with, it's
yes.
just amazing, and
Mhm.
they don't for 1 second even make you feel less
Yeah.
than them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Why would
did
they?
anybody in this
Oh
space.
yeah, no, I can name one poet and I will not. And I took classes with her and yeah, no, no. One of the meanest poets I've ever met in my life.
Really?
Oh yeah, no. And she's well liked, her poetry's well liked and yeah, I was sorry I took
Wow.
all the classes. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I haven't
Mm.
experienced that. I've only
No.
experienced a lot of
Yeah.
beautiful love that I resonate with,
Yeah.
so I feel at home in this
I,
space for
I
the most
almost
part.
took a I almost took a poetry workshop out of the out of the Zen Sangha that I belong to. Um, and it was recommended to me, and I forget the name of the poet, but now with YouTube, you can just put the name in there, and chances are, if they're a well-known poet, that you can hear what they, their style and what they write about and their attitude. So I was able to avoid that workshop because
Yeah.
it didn't not only did it not resonate with me, but it was just sort of irritating, um, politically oriented.
Mm.
Why did you do that to me thing?
Yeah.
And
Oh.
yeah, so I was happy to bring it up that you can actually curate the workshops somewhat before you sign up for them. And so I was able to not go to a workshop that I didn't really want to be there,
Yeah.
just for the sake of being there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm,
by
mm.
getting a taste of the leadership, the leader of the workshop before I sign on the dotted line.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, I
something.
don't usually think things through.
Mhm.
If I hear it, it sounds like I just usually boom, do it right there because
I do too.
otherwise I could talk myself out of it, real
Mhm.
quickly. Once I start thinking of all the details or, I have to just do it real quick there. Did anybody come with anything specific they wanted help with on the writing or wanted a question or anything they wanted to specifically? I don't want you to leave and say, oh, I didn't get to that. No? Okay, cool. Cool. Did you get to read something, Cheryl? You feel satisfied?
Well, I wrote something this morning, but it's not really the type of poems that you guys write. It's just
It's
Doesn't
not about
matter.
that.
Does
It's
it
about our
matter?
heart. It's about what's in us.
Yes.
It's whatever's
It's
in us, and
you.
we're
well,
all
actually,
human.
I did explain, Jen, when we lost you for a few minutes, that my main goal for writing stuff down is to leave it for my grandkids. So
Ah.
that's my main goal. I thought, I explained, if you try to tell kids things, they shut you out. They don't want to hear it. This is an old lady telling me a bunch of stuff, and they're not really interested. But I thought if I could hone this craft and write some of it down, um, like a poem or something like that, phrases, maybe they would read it and learn from it that way, be
Absolutely.
more open to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. This is what I just scribbled down like in 5 minutes after I got out of my shower, because it came to me while I was in the shower.
Water does it every time.
So here, and actually, what my father was, I'll give you a little background. My father was a person who had a saying for everything. Absolutely everything. And at his funeral, everyone who got up and spoke, it was all about all his sayings. There was a saying for every moment, every situation. And I started it with something he used to always say to my son, my youngest one. My younger son was severe ADHD, hyperactive, climbing the walls. My father had to climb up on the roof of our house. When he was 18 months, he was running on the roof of my father's house. So that gives you an idea of the dynamic there. And he used to always say, my son's name is Rick. And he used to always say, Rick, I can tell you, but I can't tell you much. And that kept running through my head because I've been thinking about my dad a lot lately. I lost him in 2018. But anyway, so that's what this starts with. So I'll read it to you. I can tell you, but I can't tell you much. Would you listen? Would you really hear me? I think not. We learn most lessons from our mistakes. I can try to teach you what I've learned from my mistakes, but you'll not learn from them, for they are not yours. You will have to learn from your own. You will have to learn on your own. I would give anything to save you the pain you will experience, but I can't. The biggest lessons in life come from our failures, and two different people will never have the same failures. All I can do is be here for you, wipe your tears. So I can tell you, but I can't tell you much.
Oh,
Oh, that is
oh,
beautiful.
That's very
yeah.
Wow.
sweet.
Thank you
That's
for that.
very
Yeah.
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
Very
That's
loving.
awesome.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just came to me in the shower and I said, I gotta write that down. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah,
It was
cool.
like my dad was talking to me.
So
Mhm.
listen, not this Thursday, but this Thursday, Patty Joy is doing a workshop. Our rating workshop is going to be with Patty Joy, and that's 4 o'clock Eastern. Also free if you guys are able to make it. But next Thursday, I think it's the September 4th, is Keepsake Pages with
Yeah.
poet Joanne Rowley, and that is
Um,
basically about making a little art/journal book for for your kids or grandkids
I
or
did that stuff.
yourself, so I actually just had a conversation with her yesterday about it, and we showed each other our books because I just happened to have one. What happened was I did a one-on-one with Joanne, and she was showing me or talking about this little scrapbook/journal she was put together for her kids, and it sounded like a book that I had that I was doing some kind of different kind of unusual stuff with too. And so we came up with the idea to have a workshop to do
Oh,
something like that. So
yeah.
yesterday we just met and I was able to show her my book. And it's quite different than hers. And my book's actually going to be a book for me, and because I want to honor myself with it. I started it titling it a year and a half ago, The Sacred Pause,
Mhm.
um, Rest, Reflection, and Nourishment at 60. So that's a year and a half old now because I haven't done too much with it until this conversation where I'm like, wow, I can do that. And that sounds like a fun thing to do. So whether we decide we want to leave it for somebody or not is kind of secondary. What's going on is I'm finding things that bring my heart joy and putting it in this book, and it's really kind of cool.
Nice.
So I did like some photocopies of photos, and different kind of cards and some writing and stuff like that. And anyway, it might something fun you might want to do, Cheryl,
Yeah,
if you're
definitely.
thinking of doing that.
Yeah, what got me started on this is I was just at a bookstore and I saw a book and it said a book about me, and in it goes through everything and with like lines. It'll ask you a question about yourself, where you were born, let's say, but then it gets into your personality. And I thought I started writing, filling it in, but it didn't seem creative enough. So that's where I started this whole thing. And I thought, if I'm going to leave them this book, I want it to be a little more because I'm creative. It doesn't really represent me because I've been
Right.
creative my whole life. Like that's another whole side of my
But you could also
dimension.
make another book. It doesn't have to be this one
Right.
most important, precious book. We make
No,
one and we can make another one. We can
Right.
make more.
Mhm.
I'm just saying that's where my idea came from. Long before
Yeah,
we started poetry here, it was just, I need something a little more creative in there. So this work is a perfect format
great.
because I can
That's
work
so
Mhm.
through it.
crazy, isn't it? I love it. I love it. Well, we've been together for a long time now.
Hmm. Yeah, I met you
Uh,
through another Zoom, right? Diane?
yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Patty Joy, we're doing a workshop tomorrow. If
Oh,
anybody's
yeah.
able to make that at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Do you want to say anything on that?
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. I'm a little scared,
Oh,
nervous.
rock it. You'll rock it.
Oh, J rocket.
Mhm.
Yes, I will.
We
That was what I tried to do.
will.
It's football coming up. Yeah. And it's very personal to me because of the death experiences I've had in my life and the dying experiences, and I'm still here. And the little experiences every day. It's just, and how do you work through that? How do you live through that? And that's what I've worked on. And that's what my poetry does. It gives me life. And so,
I think it's going to be great. I think it's obviously very necessary. Everybody needs a space to be able to speak freely about
yeah.
things like that. And holding space in a place like that is really a very important job in of itself.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And on my emails I'm getting, there are more and more people doing these types of grief gatherings. It's just, I was supposed to be in one today, but I chose this instead.
But you know, it's titled
Glad you
Life
did.
and Loss. Yeah, me too, for sure.
Life and what?
It's titled Life and Loss, and it's
Yeah.
not necessarily just
No, it's
about,
loss. And there are losses.
know.
Yeah. And that we have those losses, we can either let them weight us down. Oh, that would be a good poem.
Mhm.
And your losses all over you. Not
Cool.
or open up and stay. For me, it's staying in the moment.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah. It's so
yesterday,
neat, the variety of I lost my thing. The variety of workshops that we're having on Thursdays, just by the
oh,
different poet, the whatever poet or author that comes, kind of chooses, what we're gonna do. And the variety, I mean, like last week it was fairy tale stuff,
love it. Mhm.
and tomorrow it's life and loss. And then we've got the art journal
Mhm.
thing. It's really pretty cool.
A great
Yeah,
offering.
very, very
Honestly.
cool. Graham, did you have a final poem or anything you
That's
wanted
what
to
I was
share?
wondering. What
Oh,
poem did you write about us today?
oh no, I haven't been, I have not been doing that. But
Okay.
are you folks all meditators or
Yeah,
Yeah.
are
or
you?
I am.
Are
Yeah.
Yeah,
we? Yeah, I would say
because
so.
I would say Zen has really helped me a lot in focusing on the moment. And of course they make a big deal out of counting about the breathing, the breaths,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know. So yeah, I have a poem about that.
Okay.
But it's right. I breathe in and out. Breath stays out of sight. It's there in the background. It turns on my light. It cheers at a ball game and
Mhm.
jokes on the bus. To do anything really, the breath is a must. I walk down the street, I'm ringing my bell, spouting all of the corniest jokes I can tell. I'm singing a song because the world seems so lyrical. The next breath just comes. I'm the heir to a miracle.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
So that's just
Mhm.
appreciating the little things that become bigger things as you get older. The breath.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So, yeah, yeah. Any final comments, words from anybody?
This is
Let's circle
opening.
up then. Go
It's
ahead,
an
Patty
opening
Jo.
experience. Yeah. To
Yeah,
have this, it
I think
opens
it's
this.
nice.
Hmm.
I appreciate you showing up today for sure, because it lets me know if it's of a value. Let's circle up and say one word resonating in our heart. Uh, Patty Joy,
Like I said, opening.
Wanda,
Light.
Cheryl,
Community.
Graham,
Motion.
appreciation. Thank you. All right,
Thank
namaste.
you.
Cool. Thanks so
Namaste.
much for coming.
Namaste.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank
And
you
for
talk
all.
to you guys soon.
Thanks for
Thank
making
Yeah,
it
the,
you.
possible.
Thank you.
Great.
I
thank you. Thank
appreciate
you
it.
all.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Graham.
Keep
Bye,
in
everyone.
keep in
Bye.
touch. Bye now.
Nice
Bye.
meeting you, Graham. Bye-bye.
Bye.